Hi everyone, how are you? My name is Marla and I'm coming to you live today on Independence Day. I just want to let you know that on July 2nd, that is when our founding fathers actually had the resolution for independence and then on July 4th, we had the Declaration of Independence, but it wasn't signed until August. And I just wanted to say that today is a very important day that we celebrate and that we keep it in mind of all the people who died for liberty and freedom. And please teach your children about our founding nation and how the rebels, they weren't revolutionaries, they were rebels rebelling against King George III, because he was taxing us and he wasn't allowing people to worship freely. So happy 4th, happy Independence Day. I hope you're enjoying yourselves and you're with family. I wanted to talk a little bit about worldview, positivity, difference, communications, and I yet again got banned from another platform just because I shared my video on Americanism. So, and this time from a professional platform. Okay, so LinkedIn has restricted my account. This time though, I was a paying member. And they restricted my account and I'm not able to go on LinkedIn. I've been with LinkedIn since 2006. I have never been banned or called out for anything on LinkedIn. They just recently started calling me out because I was, commenting on certain posts. And it was all positive. But some are conditioned by the company culture to never ask how many Black people there are in the company. And millennials today are conditioned to see diversity by numbers. So it's all a conditioning that is going on in our country, and they're conditioning us. Your environment conditions you to form habits and behaviors. This is what school was meant to be. It was meant to public school, or actually government-controlled schools, as we know them, were meant to condition your children to form certain habits and certain behaviors that the teachers and the powers that be wanted. And they're still conditioning. This critical race theory is, but not critical, but sorry. This CRT is all about conditioning certain habits and behaviors. We can be conditioned to think a certain way by different modes of communication today. And bear in mind that our founding fathers back then, they had none of these communications. They had to deliver the news by foot or by horse. So, for example, Facebook conditions you to think it's okay to report and censure a friend with a different worldview. LinkedIn also conditions you to think a certain way, a certain positivity, and they're conditioning you to find your own happiness. It's all about pursuing your own happiness. Don't mind the fact that there is a God and you have a purpose. No. You have a God and you all have a purpose, and it's not about pursuing your happiness, but pursuing His will on earth, and obeying Him in order for you to have happiness in the afterlife, and be with Him. So we are all created equal, and this was memorialized in the Declaration of Independence. Please share this video with your friends. Help me grow my network, like, subscribe, and please subscribe to my newsletter. It's not like any newsletter at all. I'm not salesy. I provide the emails that nobody sends today. I've learned from the best, Laura Belgray. She is wonderful. She is one of the top writers in the copyright industry. I love her to pieces because she is authentic. And that's what it means in today's marketing world, to be authentic, to write, to be who you are, to be what God created you to be, and to treat everybody different. So I learned so much on my trip to Wyoming. I mean, really, I learned a lot. I ran into these young people who were Christians, and we got to talk about Bible and different meanings of grace and love and what is politics. Again, I want to just reiterate, many people get the misconception that politics is about policy or government, but politics is an umbrella term that covers everything. Politics in America is a way to communicate ideas. We have free speech, and we have a means to communicate today that like no other. And the American way of life is different than in many countries because we have a government that does not control actions. Rather, you control the government. So you control the government. The government doesn't control you. You are sovereign. You are a sovereign person, but rather than the government making a contract with each and every person, the government made a contract with each and every state, and the states make a contract with you. So governments in America, God created everyone in his image. So in America, we're all created equal in the image of God. But everyone is different, so everyone must be treated differently. Not everyone has the same purpose in life. No two people are exactly alike. So in America, we treat everyone differently. That is why CRT is wrong. Because it really does say, well, you're not above me, and I'm going to discriminate you because you discriminated against me, my ancestors way back when. Individuals don't always agree, but they need to work together because they want to get along. In the early days, the states weren't getting along. And they needed to learn how to work together in order to form a more perfect union. And we're continuing to form a more perfect union. Everyone has opinions, and everybody is different. And in America, you're allowed to have those opinions. And the fact that people are censoring you online for having opinions that are contrary to the worldview of certain countries is really wrong and off. And it's really Marxism. In America, individuals are sovereign and free. Everyone makes decisions differently. Every person has the freedom to make decisions for themselves, and everyone makes decisions differently. For example, God created me to fight for things that matter. That's our story. God comes first. Jesus died for all. No longer do we live for ourselves. It is God. You have to defend first God, then your country, then your family, then yourself. Christianity is the story of how God saved the world. We were made for more than just living for money. He created us for greatness. We weren't created to have an easy life or a happy life. And have faith in himself to have faith in yourself to have adventures, enough doubt to have risk, live for more than comfort, adventure over power. Christensen. So I wrote some stuff here. Courage is a willingness to suffer for what is good. Courage is the willingness to suffer for what is good. And this is what's good. America is good. Our freedom is good. And as long as we believe in God and we let God lead our lives, we have the ultimate freedom. When you get rid of God, you get rid of your freedom. When you give up freedom to government, you are being enslaved by government. So, that's pretty much. Initially, I was going to anyways, I had a great time in Wyoming. I learned a lot. We went with some friends. We had some little quarrels, but it all goes as a territory of friendship. And as long as you have good friends, you're able to bear it all. I wanted to also introduce you to a couple books. Okay, so Super Duck. Goat in this story has made a beautiful kite. Duck wants to see the kite take flight. He runs and throws the kite, stays low until the wind begins to blow. Can Super Duck save the day? I'm not sure if we're still selling this book, but I bought it in the early years when I first discovered it. And I really love this author Jez Alborough. I love the way he writes. He is funny. He's rhythmic. It's just a brilliant read aloud. And it's about this duck that wants to be super. He wants to do, he wants to show his friends that he can make way and he can fly, I guess. Let's see. So Goat makes a kite and Duck wants to try it out. And instead of waiting it out, he reaches and grabs the kite, and then he hurls it, flips, the kite flips, flops, dips and flops, and then goes back down. So they try again. He grabs the string and shouts, "Go!" Then he stompers off. He's going. He's going in his car. I love the pictures. The pictures are super beautiful. But all of a sudden, Frog grabs hold of the kite because the kite was flying away, and it is Duck's chance to save the day. Anyways, it's a really good book. It's $15.99. I'm not sure if we have it in my store. I just wanted to share the book with you because we have more like these picture books that are just fun and brilliantly made and have a jaunting delight. The other book that's a classic, and this was one of our very first books when my son was 2. It's only $9.99, but if you get the series, you save a little money. I love these books because they're touchy-feely for your kids, and they're beginner reading books. By the time they start reading, they've memorized what's in the book, and they know the definition of different of what it feels. It's like a textile. It's meant to develop their sensory and their language awareness. So this book is really a really good starter book. That's Not My Fox his ears are too furry. And there's a mouse on every page. So for the little ones, you could say, hey, can you find the mouse? And pretty soon they'll really, look, it's right there. Can you find the mouse? Look, it's right there. And it's just, that's not my fox. Its chest is too smooth. That's my fox. Its tail is fluffy. Really good book. And the other book that I want to recommend, I bought this a long time ago. It is an old book. It was published. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This was published. It was $6.95, although I don't think it's $6.95 now. But it was published in 1970. I like this one. I really do. 1975 was the original. The original was 1970. And this is Abraham Lincoln, his story in his own words. I'm really glad I found it. It talks about 1915, the foreword is about in 1959 and again in 1960, Abraham Lincoln wrote short autobiography sketches. The first was prepared for his friend Jesse Fell, Illinois, Lincoln's earlier supporters for the presidency. It was written in the first person. Fell sent the sketch to Joseph Lewis in Pennsylvania, who used it to prepare an article which was published in the Chester County Times. February 11, 1860, and was then widely copied in Republican newspapers throughout the country around 1860. So I like it. What Kentuckians worthy of his place would not do this? Gentlemen, I too am a Kentuckian. So this, he starts off with 1809 when he was born in Kentucky. He goes into Indiana years, and all the chapters are very short. Sister Sarah, trip to New Orleans, moved to Illinois. Black Hawk War. Postmaster and surveyor, Illinois legislator. Springfield lawyer, 1836. Marriage to Mary Todd, 1837. The Lincoln family, United States Congress. The House divided. And in his own words, what he thought about the House divided. Debates with Douglas. The presidential election. And I believe this is where he says, oh, I won. Yeah, now my honest character is tarred. Even then, elections were really bad. Farewell to Springfield. First inaugural address. Martial law. He talks about martial law. Commander-in-Chief. Gettysburg Address. I'm not going to read it. I just think it's a very good book. I'm not going to sell it either. So if you could find it, it's Abraham Lincoln, his story in his own words, edited and with notes by Ralph Jeffrey Newman. And I'm not even sure it's his original copy. I wish I could find the originals. I'm sure there is a publishing somewhere. The other book that I highly recommend is this book. It is called Designated to Fail, Catholic Education in America, Steve Kelly Meyer, author of Sex and Sacred City. I really like this author. So far, he's really educated me on secular school, the smashing blow, the secular schools in America, the purpose of mass schooling. He's educated me on theological context, the impact of events in Europe. I'm not finished with it. I am in chapter Where am I? I believe I'm in chapter 11. Page 160. So I'm in the parents. And I'm really close to finishing. There are only 14 chapters and then the conclusion. So far, I've really learned a lot, and it's really filled in some gaps and holes, to the point where now I want to actually read the Council of Trent, which was 1545 through 1563 AD, because Martin Luther actually made it possible for the Council of Trent, and he had created the first question and answer catechism, his small catechism. The large catechism would follow in 1530, and I'm not sure, don't quote me on it, but the Westminster Catechism, there's a short version and a long version. I believe Martin Luther created that, but I don't quote me on it. Anyways, Luther knew the ideas he was promoting were not popular in many areas, so he not only courted the support of German princes, he also tried to gain control of the children. So Martin Luther was instrumental in advancing the mass school system in Germany. I highly recommend this book. Highly recommend it. And it will open your mind and open your eyes to mass schooling and the horrors of the education system today. Anyways, I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a happy 4th. Anyways, happy grilling, happy enjoying, enjoy your fireworks, and just have a good day. Bye. Don't forget to go to k4699.myubam.com and please shop for some books for your kids, and if possible, host your own party with me. I promise it will be fun, and I will not be salesy, but lively and entertaining and engaging and just plain good old fun. And you'll be able to talk to your friends all in one space online without ever leaving your home. If you are interested in doing a home party and you're local and you're in Colorado, please let me know and host your own party, and let me know when is the best time to have a tea party or a coffee date with you and your friends. And we can share books, and you can get some free books and start a new library and have a great fun. Thanks. Again, like and subscribe, and share as widely as possible. And thank you.